Life is full of experiences, good and bad, from spectacular to mediocre. Life can be full of regrets or gratitude. I choose gratitude and hope you will too.
Christmas Day typically in the emergency department can be pretty slow.
Brenda, my charge nurse, was sitting at the desk, said, "Oh, somebody's having trouble breathing, they're in labor." So we just thought, oh, labor pains, mom's going into labor, Christmas Day, baby. We all get kind of excited about it and go about our day. Maybe 20 minutes later, regular phone call rings. It's a call you don't want to hear.
31-week pregnant female with CPR in progress. We didn't know anything else at the time. We called labor and delivery and asked them to come down.
Everybody came together, prepared.
NICU had set up the room next to the bay that we were in. They were ready for a baby and we were ready for a mom.
EMS was working the patient in the field and they were bringing her in.
And Brenda looks at me and said, "It's my room," which I didn't want to take it, to be honest, because nobody wants a mom who's in labor, who's now being resuscitated. It's hard to talk about sometimes.
As a tenured nurse, you kind of wrap your mind around it within about 3 to 5 seconds, and you start making a plan.
We knew at this point that the baby, as far as gestational age, was old enough that she could survive outside of the womb, and so immediately we paged our OBGYN on call to get her coming to the hospital. And within just a few short minutes, our OBGYN doctor and the NICU team arrived.
The next step for me would be to deliver this baby.
I've been involved in many emergency C-sections over the course of my time, but never one not in the OR, never one without all of my team, never one without anesthesia. As a labor nurse, I was by myself at that moment.
You hear about it in the ER, but that just doesn't happen.
It's difficult because you don't get this situation at all, ever. And in a physician's lifetime, you might have this maybe one, usually none.
The baby was delivered and was unfortunately not much activity there at all. And they whisked the baby away quickly into another room and continued to try to resuscitate the baby, and we continued to work on mom. We were able to actually get a heartbeat and a blood pressure back with the mother and immediately whisked her away to the operating room. We were focusing on both the baby and focusing on the mother, trying to make Christmas what Christmas should be.
It's a chaotic mess, but it's not chaotic. Everybody has an assigned part. Everybody just knows it gets done. It's actually kind of beautiful how we all come together and take care. We handle it.
It went as smoothly as it could go.
It was really amazing to watch.
It was a symphony in a way. It's like everybody knew exactly where they needed to be, even though maybe none of us have ever been in that situation before.
It was one person doing one thing, handing off seamlessly to the next group.
There was beauty in it. I felt safe as a practitioner and as a caregiver and as somebody that wanted to give the best care you can possibly give, knowing that it may not have the best outcome. It was a very different thing for me as a labor and delivery nurse, because our goal is to never lose a mom. And it was not long after that I realized that the baby had also passed away.
It was one of the hardest days I've ever in my life done as a nurse, to know that this woman and this baby have both died. And there was nothing we could do but giving them the comfort of knowing that we did everything to save their loved ones. It's kind of what you have to hold on to at the end.
If there was a possibility, the slightest possibility, that we could have saved one or both of them, we were the team to do it.
I couldn't ask for a better team that day. Everyone did exactly what they needed to be doing. And she would have never had a better chance than she did that day in our emergency department.
So I go up front and there's a man sitting up there with a big a bag of Godiva chocolates and a huge bouquet of orange star lilies. He said, "My name is Steve, and I believe you took care of my daughter and my granddaughter on Christmas Day." And right then, my heart kind of went into my throat a little bit, and I said, "Yeah, I was Jennifer's nurse." And he said, "Yeah, I just wanted to come up here and talk with you and meet you and shake your hand."
They're going through a really difficult time too, because it's not every day that something like this happens in the emergency room. That happened to my daughter. It's very, very rare and very unusual.
He just wanted to tell me about Jennifer and baby Isabella. That's when I learned her name. He gave me her eulogy that he had written, and he wanted to show me pictures of what she looked like, not that day, so that I could have a better picture of the patient I worked on.
Knowing that he was able to walk through the same doors to thank us, I think that in itself brings back to full circle why we do what we do.
That makes it all worth it.
No question that day, everything possible that could be done was done. And the people here were amazing, very caring, very involved. Some of it was terrible news, but it was delivered by people that were clearly professionals that cared about what they did.
He said that in his family, Jennifer and him, they always gave each other a thumbs up, and that he wanted to come up and give me a thumbs up. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we just sat in the chair, just two people talking and crying. And then at the end of it, he said, "Now let's take a selfie."
It doesn't happen that often when you have an unexpected outcome like we did, to see that family back again, showing that much appreciation and gratitude. For me personally, it felt almost like a little bit of closure, because you think about it, even if you don't mean to think about it, almost on a daily basis.
It definitely fuels us when patient families or even patients come back to recognize the staff for a job well done.
And it helps you to keep moving on to the next case.
There's nothing better to hear that.
That was really nice that he wanted to come back and show us that it meant a lot to him.
One of the things about Jennifer, she was very passionate about things she did, very compassionate to other people, and that's, to me, is what we felt and found here.
I've worked at many different medical centers, and one of the unique aspects of Medical City McKinney is that this is a home to many of us. This isn't just a job.
It translates into better patient care and the better patient experience. Above all else, we're committed to the care and improvement of human life, and with that family atmosphere and that family culture, that's truly what we're here to do.
Without this sense of, friendship and family that we have amongst one another, we wouldn't make it through anything that we do.
We can't go home and talk about the things that happened in the ER. I've worked in different facilities, and the environment at McKinney, it's like no other.
What's motivating to me is the lives and people that you're going to affect in the future. If I were to stop doing what I do, it could negatively impact a lot of people. So I think it is rewarding, even going through the hard times, to see the good that you do.